Technology has revolutionized the world we live in. With rapid development in artificial intelligence, we've created a reliance on automation, but also a fear of the unknown. A certain unease has grown to wonder how far it can all go. Will technology misuse our information, make our jobs obsolete, or even surpass us? With the human race bound to the frightening power of machines, will there come a time where we will all have to submit to technology terror?
Welcome to 13 Degrees of Screams,
where we watch and dissect your favorite spooky movies.
I'm your host, Alex.
And Stephanie.
And this is a mostly horror podcast.
Each season, we'll rank 13 movies on a scariness scale from, you guessed it, 1 to 13.
We will uncover the real-life myths and legends that inspire these movies and tell you just how authentic they are.
This week, we contact the dead in White Noise.
Stephanie.
Alex.
Have you seen White Noise before we watched it for the podcast?
No. No, I hadn't. It's weird.
So I had when it first came out, and I literally convinced myself somehow that this movie was good.
Oh.
Don't say anything yet. I was talking to Nick. I'm like, okay, I have 2 movies to watch for the podcast. One is good and the other is not. Mm-hmm. So which one do you want to watch? And he's like, the good one. I'm like, okay. And then we watched it. I'm like, oh, this was bad.
No, it's very bad.
I don't know why I thought this was a good movie. Like, if you had asked me before the season started, like, which of these movies is, like, which ones of these are good, I would be like, White Noise. No. Yeah, I don't know what I did. I thought it was good.
Did you see it in 2005?
I think so.
Maybe it was good then, but they had, like, Phantom of the Megaplex kind of ghost the whole time.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. In my head, I'm like, White Noise, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It was not that great. I mean, we'll get to it with the plot. I feel like it started off pretty good.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, it kind of just crumbled.
It was the special effects that were not good.
The ending, girl, I'm like, what?
What the? Yeah. What happened here?
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I felt betrayed by this movie. I'm like, I thought you were good. It is not good.
Okay.
We had it ranked as a 12.
Oh, no.
Do you disagree?
Yeah. But now I'm getting confused what's going to go to 12.
I don't know, because I feel like, again, the first half, some of the sounds especially were creepy and the visuals were pretty startling, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Overall,
the jump scares were good, I guess.
Yeah.
The first couple times.
Yeah. Then it got old. But I thought it was pretty good at first.
Yeah.
At least with the scares, and then it just devolved into, I'm like, what is even happening? What is the plot of this movie? I don't know.
Yeah, no. It became really, really unnecessarily dense, because at first it just feels like he's trying to contact his wife. And then you realize, like, no, he's trying to be a policeman in a way and, like, solve murders and shit that haven't happened yet. And his wife is his ghostly sidekick. Yeah,
I feel like we could have just kept with contacting his wife storyline, and maybe it was just ended up being a benevolent spirit.
Yeah, malevolent?
Malevolent, right?
I thought you said malevolent.
Malevolent. You know me and words are not friends.
I mean, funny, same.
I could barely read, all right? Listen, a bad
illiterate.
no good spirit, okay?
Yes, it was no good.
No good, bad spirit. But no, there was this whole thing that became about things that didn't happen. Wait a minute. It was about things that haven't happened yet, right? Or they're going to happen?
Yeah.
Interesting, considering our next movie.
Yeah.
Weird how that works out.
A lot of that.
a lot of that. Are you ready to go into some of the movie background I found?
Yeah, sure.
White Noise is a 2005 supernatural horror thriller film directed by Jeffrey Sachs and starring Michael Keaton and Deborah Kara Unger. I don't know who Deborah Kara Unger is. Is that the wife?
I'm assuming it's Sarah, 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
she's kind of in it more than the wife, really.
That's fair. I don't know what else she's in, but Deborah.
Yeah. Oh, I recognized Michael Keaton from...
Batman.
See, Charlie said Batman, and I was like, that's the guy from Jack Frost.
Oh, that's a good movie, too, though.
I liked it a lot as a kid, even though it's kind of silly. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a horror movie, Jack Frost?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to check.
Yeah.
There are 2 Jack Frosts. A good one and a bad one.
Of course.
You decide which one's good and which one's bad.
I mean, they might be both kind of bad, just different reasons.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a Killer Snowman season and we could do both Jack Frost. Well, not Killer Snowmen, just Snowmen.
Yeah. Magical snowman.
That's when we're at the bottom of the barrel, just like scraping. What's left? Snowmen.
Find it.
Cold things. That's the season, cold.
Yes.
Be on the lookout for cold.
This movie takes place and there's snow on the ground, so this counts.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. So the title refers to the electronic voice phenomenon, also known as EVP, where anomalous voice-like sounds, which some believe to be from the other side, interpreted as spirit voices, are found on electronic audio recordings. White Noise was generally negatively received by critics with a 7% rating at Rotten Tomatoes, with the site's consensus being, while there are some built-in scares, the movie is muddled and unsatisfying, which... You kind of
agree.
You're like, agree.
And then a 5-star review from Alex in 2005.
No, yeah.
Best movie ever.
I don't know what I was thinking. I don't even know if I've seen this movie now.
Maybe you were confused.
I'm just confused. But 7%, that's lower than a lot of the movies we've covered so far. And that's saying a lot.
Right?
That says a lot.
Yeah. Didn't Lawnmower Man do better?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, you know what? I did like a Lawnmower Man better than this. So, you know what? I wouldn't even be surprised.
Okay.
You're like, no, absolutely not. Interesting fact I found. So White Noise came out at the beginning of January, which is like normally where like crappy movies
they
go.
Dump the bad stuff.
Yeah, but this movie did extremely well that it actually became like, it has like a legacy behind it now because they actually started putting good movies in that spot.
Oh.
Because of how well this movie did. So it's like this whole thing. It kind of changed how movies are released and what time it is.
Yeah, because I think sometimes popular stuff comes out for New Year's Day, but then right after that, it's like the sludge of what can't make the good stuff.
Yeah, it said basically the movie was released the first weekend after New Year's Day, the start of the winter dump months, and usually one of the worst weekends for new releases. It led studios to reassess their releasing strategies for horror films.
Really? Okay.
And then, they said if a horror film is poorly received as White Noise could nevertheless make a significant amount of money in January, studios realized a quality film in that genre could do even better. So it actually changed kind of like the structure of how some things are released. I know there was a big, when Cloverfield came out, I think, around that time.
Okay.
Because of it.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, they changed it. There's a legacy behind this movie about like changing the way how some movies are released in January.
Yeah, I can see that. I think most like really big musical pictures and stuff now are like come out like Christmas weekend or right after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
but there was something interesting that came out of this movie, at least.
Yeah, good for them.
It did well. It's just not good.
Yeah.
So they had a really good advertisement. Let's put it that way, probably.
Okay.
That's probably why I thought it was good.
Yeah, you saw the trailer commercial and you're like,
I'm like,
wow.
This is quality movie. And then I never actually saw it. I just made that up in my head.
Yes.
2005.
Quality movie.
That was a long time ago.
Yes. Would you like to hear about the plot?
Yes, I would.
Yay.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to say no.
So, warn you ahead of time, I'm going to say EVP a lot.
EVP. Just say EVP.
So, Jonathan Rivers is an architect that lives with his wife and son from a previous marriage. In the opening scene, his wife, Anna, reveals to him that she's pregnant just to go missing immediately after.
Bad timing.
Right, like that night. She's like gone forever now.
She's like, I'm pregnant. Just kidding. Bye.
Yeah, kind of. And then, he waits around for quite some time. And then at 2:30 a.m., which we keep on freezing on that time for some reason, no one cares.
No one cares.
Well, they never make any note of why.
Well, I think we kind of can connect the dots as to why.
It's spiritual.
Yeah, it's when she...
Well...
Right?
Yeah, but then they also do it in the future after she's passed at this point. But...
okay.
It's fine. It means nothing, really, because they just keep showing it, but it doesn't matter.
Actually, literally don't even pay attention to that part.
Yes.
Forget we even mentioned it.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
So at that time, he reports her missing, and the police find her car on the side of the road by the water, and it's presumed she fell in while trying to change a tire.
I love how it took him reporting it for them to find her.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they maybe wouldn't have looked. But she was right there, wasn't she? Just...
Yeah, her car was just random. Charlie and I also thought it was funny that she had pulled over onto rocks to change the tire. And I guess that explains why she fell. It's not a very even terrain.
She parked halfway off a cliff. She's like, this is fine.
Also, you're newly pregnant. Milk that shit. You get somebody else to come out and do that.
Yeah.
But all right, whatever. Do-it-herselfer.
I know, on the rocks.
Yeah.
Perfect.
She's like, the more complicated, the better.
I want to make my life as difficult as possible for myself.
Yes. So then in the 5 weeks after her disappearance, he briefly gets stuck in the elevator with one of his clients, but is let out by a maintenance guy just kind of staring at the outside of the elevator. He doesn't get in or anything. He's just like, everything okay?
Everything all right?
Yeah.
Are you okay in there?
Yeah, basically. And then they come out and he just continues staring at the elevator.
Okay, bye.
And also another thing I noticed, too, because of all the Law and Order I've watched, the story doesn't really hold up because we never see him get questioned by police. And husbands and wives are the first person, that you go to.
Right. No.
Find out what's going on.
It's because he has a lot of money.
I guess.
I don't know.
But yeah, they never question him. And instead, he is approached by this man that keeps following him named Raymond Price. Raymond tells him that he's been contacted by Anna through electronic voice phenomena, otherwise known as EVP, and she's told him that she's passed on. Hey, Raymond, can you get this note to him?
Yeah. By the way, I'm dead.
Yes.
Sorry.
So, of course, Jonathan is skeptical at first, but Raymond says that this is the only way he's been able to process his own son's death, and he receives frequent communication from his son. At first, Jonathan's angered and dismissive, but once the police confirm that they found Anna's body rolling in an accidental drowning, he believes Raymond may have been telling the truth, so he goes to Raymond's home, which is filled with monitors, tapes, and EVP equipment. And Ray assures him that if they keep listening, they'll eventually graduate to making, visual contact with Anna over these monitors.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very strange setup, and I'm like, this guy's a crackpot. I'm just looking at all this shit that he has in his house.
Hey, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
And I want to say, it's one of those situations. He's like, she's dead. I mean, you have a 50-50 shot at that, right?
Right.
Either she's dead or she's not.
Yeah.
So, the fact that he said she's dead and she actually ended up being dead, I mean, that's one of two possibilities. It's not like this you knew
all along.
Her car's been chilling there at the side of the road by the water on the rocks.
Yeah. I think she just went for a walk.
Right. I wouldn't be I would assumed at that point yeah, she didn't make it.
Right.
And he's like, she's dead. And he's like, how would you know that? I don't know. It was all over the news. You really...
Yeah.
Either she's dead or she's not.
Right.
You have two options. There's no, she's partially dead.
Sometimes she's dead.
Sometimes she's alive. Depends on the day.
Right. She sometimes she doesn't feel it.
She doesn't feel like living, so she just doesn't. She chooses not to live today.
Anyway, while at Raymond's, he befriends this woman, Sarah Tate, who has also come to Raymond for his EVP work because her fiancé has recently died.
She drank the Kool-Aid.
Yes. And Jonathan ends up capturing a recorded voice, assuming it's his wife, and becomes obsessed with trying to get in contact with her. However, along with his wife comes other voices that are aggressive and threatening.
See, I would be like, hell no.
Yeah,
Sorry.
all done.
Yeah, I'm done. I you know what?
Peace out. See you later.
Peace and blessings, but she's dead. There's really nothing I could do at this point. I'm just going to go because the second I hear anything remotely different than a nice lady's voice, I'm leaving so fast.
Right.
I'm not fucking with that. Goodbye.
Yes.
And he's like, more.
Right.
Like, let's see some pictures.
And she's not saying a lot either. She's just kind of like saying his name and
hi.
just barely hi, really.
Go away.
Go now. Go. That's all she tells him. Jonathan, go. And I'm like, Jonathan, maybe we should stop. That's what she means to say.
Maybe,
stop doing this.
Or go, like go as in leave and never come back.
Right. No.
That's the opposite of what he did.
Right. Then the next time he goes to see Raymond, he finds him inexplicably dead, surrounded by destroyed EVP equipment. Jonathan and Sarah go through Raymond's previous EVP logs, and Jonathan ends up going to a psychic for advice and is told that his work with EVP has no safeguards and can provoke spirits.
I just want to know why. So this Raymond dude has been doing this for a while, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Why did all of a sudden these spirits... You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know.
He's been doing this for so long.
He's got like several logs of it. Maybe because he wasn't so obsessive.
I don't know. I'm like,
I mean, he does seem kind of obsessive, but I don't know. We get into it, but Jonathan's like doing it 24/7.
Yeah, he needs a hit. I just need to hear.
Yeah.
I need more. I need to see.
Like he's listening to it like on his drive home from work and stuff like that. Like just like static. Like. It's weird.
Well, they didn't have podcasts back in 2005, Stephanie. What else did you listen to?
Right.
Music? No. You listened to your dead relatives. Am I the only one?
I think
shit.
so. Oops.
I've been doing it wrong or right. I don't know.
And you understand with the whole like no safeguard thing, right? Because like the psychic says that she takes precautions to prevent herself from having to deal with or get infected in a way by
there's nothing protecting.
Maleficent.
Yeah, because like anything could come through, right?
Yes.
Is that what she's saying?
Also, it's kind of like a practice sometimes in Wiccan territory when there's any interaction with like a spiritual kind of thing, like Ouija boards, tarot cards, anything.
You should close it out.
Yeah, you should kind of like really focus your energy, like through meditation, burning a candle, all kinds of stuff to, make sure that you're going towards the right place and you're not
right.
asking somebody.
Yeah. It's like, I'm your wife. Just kidding.
Right. And the way Jonathan's doing it, he's just like, anybody in the world, please talk to me.
Anybody, can you hear me?
Right.
I don't care if you're my wife or not.
He doesn't after a while, it seems. He's like, Anna, you're getting in the way. I see someone screaming. Like,
this isn't about you, Anna.
So he doesn't heed her warning, obviously, and begins to be followed by 3 demons attracted by his obsession with EVP. Anna and the EVPs seem to be pointing him to people that aren't dead, but soon may be. At one point, he keeps hearing a woman crying and hearing a street name over and over again. When Anna tells him to go now, he finds a car turned over on that street with a woman and her baby trapped inside. He's able to save the baby, but not the woman. Jonathan and Sarah attend the funeral for her. The widower then thanks him for saving his son, but ultimately chases him away when Jonathan tries to explain how he found them with EVP.
That is absolutely insane to me that he connected those dots. Even if like a ghost or something was saying the same street name over and over again, and my dead wife, quote unquote, was saying go, I don't know if I would connect that. Like I was just like, they're just saying things. Like how... I wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, there must be something bad happening on this street. I don't know if I would connect that. I'd just be like, oh, that's weird.
I don't know. It's so weird and just not helpful because they're just repeating the same things over and over again, too, it seems. So it's like weeks and weeks of the same words. So you're just like, whatever,
right,
I guess.
She said go immediately. So, okay, there's Anna saying go again. Like,
right.
All right.
Anna always wants me to go.
That's her favorite word, go. It's like a baby. Go.
At this point, we can say he's kind of off the deep end. He's devoted a large chunk of his apartment to this with all the equipment he needs for this, and he's clearly not sleeping or thinking of anything else. Even his son's like, hey, you gonna be okay?
Dad, what the fuck are you doing?
What you doing here?
Yeah. Take care of me, maybe?
Yeah. He's like, can we watch TV together sometime? That's all I'm asking. Like,
No. It's too much. He has to watch the ghosts in the fuzziness. The scrambled TV.
Yeah. And still undeterred, even though everyone's concerned about him in his life. Even Sarah, that's like familiar with this stuff. Jonathan finds another woman on EVP and assumes it is a recently missing woman named Mary Freeman. He also sees Sarah on the screen saying that she is hurt, predicting a future accident. He tries to protect her for that evening, but she ultimately jumps off a high-rise building while possessed by the demons, becoming seriously injured.
Right off the edge.
Right. And it's like it happens immediately. He's like, yeah, I'll stay with you for a couple of days and then, you know, everything will be fine. It'll blow over.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as he gets up and uses the bathroom, it's when it happens.
Yeah, she's like, no, I don't think so.
Right.
I'm just going to throw myself off the building.
Mm-hmm,
Like, God, can you imagine? She wanted to be away from this man so much so she threw herself off a building. Like,
yes.
Yikes.
So following signs he finds on EVP recordings, Jonathan locates the site where he believes the missing Mary Freeman is being kept. He contacts police to report his suspicion and insists they come to the location right away. Jonathan finds elaborate EVP deciphering electronic equipment on site. A construction workman from Jonathan's company, the same guy from the elevator in the beginning, has been doing his own EVP work and is found to be holding Mary captive.
What? I got to this point. I'm like, okay, I checked out. I was
Right.
like, what?
It's so weird.
Why? Like, it was at least somewhat interesting. Like, I could even get on board with the predicting future
People's deaths, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there was this whole side thing now.
Yeah, with the serial killer kind of guy that's being possessed by demons, I
Pick
guess.
a lane, man. Like,
it's a lot, yeah.
it was supposed to be like this shocking revelation, but I was like, I don't even care.
Right.
Like, you just diverted way off in left field.
And it like totally construes his whole like life story too. So here, let me just read on for a second.
Yes.
So he's under the control of the three demons as they preside over this conversation he's having with the man. And the workman confesses he's been instructed to kill Mary and insinuates that he's did the same with Anna. And I'm like, but it was ruled that she drowned. Like, I don't get how these things correlate. Like,
unless he killed her and dumped her body kind of a thing.
I guess, but that means she's still alive. She was still alive when she was in the water, if they could detect that she drowned. Because they find water in the lungs typically when
unless he
you find a drowning.
Held her under the water.
I guess. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, so did her car even break down kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like, did he just take her and then move the car? It's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's not really important because we don't even really know any more about this.
No, yeah, because then now we have these three demon things that were kind of present throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But now it's shoehorned into this dude.
Right.
I'm like, how do these two things tie in together?
Yeah.
Do they? The demons and the guy? Are the demons controlling the guy, telling him what to do? Or
and I don't know if that means that they were going to try to control Jonathan, though, because, you know, they were stalking Jonathan, but I don't know. I guess they got a lot of time on their hands.
What, the demons?
Yeah.
I mean, what else are they going to do? Have to go run errands?
Right, that's
Go to the
true.
grocery store? Maybe the laundromat? Pick up the kids from daycare?
Right.
Like,
what are we going to have for dinner on Tuesday? I don't know.
I don't know, Beelzebub. What else? Like, they're in a throuple, actually.
Yeah.
They're in a happy little three-way.
It's just Three's Company, just all dudes.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess when they're not doing their daily routine, they're trying to possess people.
Yeah, okay.
Typical demon behavior.
Right. So as the three demons watch, Jonathan attempts to save Mary, but the demons intervene, torturing Jonathan by breaking his arms and legs and cause him to fall to his death. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I was like, I shouldn't be laughing.
They like lift him up and his legs literally go like make a W.
Like, it's not funny, but it's also so outlandish.
Yeah. The special effects, they're just not.
They're bad.
They're not it.
No. And then, that was another thing. Like, at least in the beginning of the movie, I wouldn't say it was necessarily believable, but like all the haunting stuff was just like the EVP stuff, which I found a lot more interesting
and compelling, yeah, than
being dragged by these
stuff.
3 CGI demons breaking his bones. I'm like, all right. Like I think I probably mentioned this before, but my favorite kind of like horror is like the subtle stuff that I could actually believe happened or could
Right.
happen, and that's the EVP stuff. Like I could definitely see that actually being a thing. Not this CGI. Oh my god, it looks so bad, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not afraid of 3 demons picking my body up and just breaking my bones. I don't know. Maybe I should be, but I
honestly,
far
they just
less...
look like black shadow men.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even make out any discernible features and stuff like that. And at one point, they like jump scare him in a doorway. But that's why I say it's like the Phantom of the Megaplex kind of thing, because it's just like the shape of like a Grim Reaper kind of thing, but no face or anything.
Mm-hmm. But I could be like, I could see that being pretty scary because, like, you know, just like shadow people in general,
Mm-hmm.
like that freaks me out because like I've definitely like had that happen.
Ooh.
Yeah, just like I could have just been like, you know, peripheral vision stuff, but it's freaky when that happens. So I could see that being like somewhat scary, but not when they're just like actively attacking you like this. I'm like, all right,
yeah,
womp womp, fail. So yeah, he's not doing so hot.
No. So a police SWAT team arrive on the scene and are able to save Mary by killing the workman. So we jump forward to Jonathan's ex-wife and her new husband and Jonathan's son leaving the funeral. And they're flicking through the radio station, and in some interference, they catch a voice say, "I'm sorry, Mikey," to Jonathan's son.
Oh, is that what he said? I couldn't even make it out.
Yeah, it was very, very vague, and I'm like, sorry, a little sorry too late. Like, you neglected him for like 6 months.
Yeah, now you dead.
Now you did.
Now what?
Right. Mikey's gonna need some therapy.
Yeah.
And Mikey, the son, recognizes his voice and smiles. And then we see Sarah in a wheelchair at Jonathan's gravesite, and she's being menaced by noises in the wind.
Ooh.
So they're still out there.
Spooky. If I heard my parents' voice over the radio, I would not smile.
Right.
I'd be breaking down, crying, freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be like, oh. Like, no.
No, that's not a comforting thing.
It's like, oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah.
What is happening?
You mean he's trapped in there?
That freaked me out.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's because Mikey's like, oh good, Daddy's with the thing he loves most.
Yeah, he's probably like, thank God he's gone.
I really like Mom a lot better.
Yeah, after everything that happened, it's for the best.
I don't blame him.
No, he's like, yeah, this is fine.
Right.
No.
And then just before the end credits, we flash to the image of Jonathan and his wife visible in white noise static. And a closing title reads, "Of the many thousands of documented EVP messages, approximately 1 in 12 have been overly threatening in nature," which Charlie said out loud, "That's not true."
Sure.
I don't. It feels like a really random statistic.
I didn't fact check that. Whatever. I was so over it. I felt so betrayed by the end of this. I'm like, wow. I rooted for you, white noise, okay? I rooted for you. I thought you were good. And you proved me wrong.
No.
I'm like, just another bad movie.
Yes.
Just another bad
this whole season.
movie. Oh.
This whole season.
You know, if my expectations weren't just shattered, I don't know if I would have been so upset by my own expectations.
Yeah, maybe.
But again, I will give it credit. The first half of the movie I thought was going somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, they should have just kept on that track.
Right. They just shouldn't have made it such a big deal with the whole demons thing. Like,
yeah.
Like, if you're going to have malevolent voices, cool. You know, that stuff was working.
Yeah.
But, because, like, even when they had, like, little jump scares on the images, that was kind of
that may be, like,
a thing, you know?
I'm fairly, like, unfazed by jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could watch a movie and just, like, no reaction. Even that kind of, like, I was like, oh,
yeah.
that's a little spooky.
Like, spooky.
It spooked me. And, like, I don't know. I thought the subtlety of it, like, it was...
I think, that was more scary than actually seeing them or
breaking his body into a pretzel. I'm like, please.
And it just happened in such slow motion. It just wasn't quick enough. I was like, is he going to be okay? And then they throw him off the thing and you're like, no, guess not.
But Sarah was fine jumping off of a high rise.
Yeah.
So.
She only fell like 2 floors.
Oh,
Though.
was it only 2
It
floors?
wasn't that high up. It
Oh,
was
okay.
weird. It wasn't like she was on the roof. She fell from
Oh,
her
yeah, that's
balcony.
right. Okay, well then never mind. But regardless, I was like,
Yeah.
like they could have done a movie without having a weird like villain at the end.
Right.
Like it didn't even really need. It could have the bad spirit or demons or whatever.
It could have just been like a miscellaneous of blad spirits.
Blad spirits. It's just a blad spirits, Stephanie.
Just so blad.
They're just so blad, but it ended up being 3 demons.
Yeah.
That were stupid.
Right.
Like it just could have been a series of just like he could have just still gone down the rabbit hole without like showing too much, and they showed everything.
Right.
And shoehorned this workman guy, and I was like,
I kind of wanted it to turn the other way around and be like, it wasn't really your wife talking to you. It was one of these malevolent spirits or whatever. I expected it to go that way based off the premise.
Right.
And then when it didn't, and we were just like, so she's just kind of a side character now, and it's not about reaching out to her anymore. It's just, she just happens to be there.
Yeah, she was just trying to help him solve like potential crimes.
Yeah.
Girl, if I was dead, I'd be like, deuces. Like, I don't got time for I'm dead. I don't have time to worry about this no more.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be helping you solve future crimes somehow. Like, just let me rest. I'm no longer here. Just let me go.
Right.
I know. Not great.
So, would you like to hear about electronic voice phenomena?
EVPs? Yes.
Okay. Electronic voice phenomenon, EVP, refers to the phenomenon where sounds resembling human voices are captured on electronic recording, such as audio tapes or digital recordings, without any apparent source. These voices are often interpreted as communication from spirits or entities from the afterlife. EVP gained popularity in the 1970s when parapsychologist Constantins Rodov.
Is that a name?
Rodive? Yeah, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Parapsychologist. Oh, okay. It's got like a little tilde in there or something. I feel like this is like Russian or something. I don't know.
It's a name I don't recognize.
Right. So this man conducted experiments and described EVP as brief sounds, usually the length of a word or short phrase. So the scientific and skeptical perspectives. From a scientific perspective, EVP is often regarded as a form of auditory pareidolia.
The hell's that?
I think like a paranoia.
Oh, okay.
Which is the tendency of the human brain to interpret random sounds as meaningful voices or words.
Can I tell you something about that? I had this one auditory hallucination. At least I hope it's an auditory hallucination. So vivid. It sounded like a 1920s or something man over like a staticky radio, like the old timey radio sound in my ear. I can't remember what he said, but Stephanie, it was so vivid. I'm like, I just got contacted by a ghost. Like it was so crazy. Never have I had anything that vivid before. Like I've had, like I thought I heard something.
What were you listening to?
Nothing. No, I just heard it. So it's not an EVP per se, I guess. But I was just laying there and I heard it.
Oh, damn.
Nothing.
What did he say?
I can't remember.
Ooh.
It was just a couple words, but it was so vivid. It sounded like someone turned on a radio right next to my ear. It was so freaky. I woke up, turned on the light, and I had a hard time falling back asleep.
Yikes.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah.
This happened a couple years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not really an EVP because it wasn't like coming through anything. But I'm like, no, auditory hallucination or something, or some ghost was trying to talk to me. Right. I really wish I remember what he said, but it was so freaky.
Right.
So vivid.
Well, and then I get the whole like audio hallucinations too, because the whole process of EVPs is very suggestive in my opinion, because like when you watch like Ghost Adventures or you go and try to get your own EVPs and stuff like that, you have to kind of like listen to it yourself without having somebody else tell you what they hear, because then automatically your brain hears it.
Yeah, that's what you're listening for.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was like, have you ever seen that Toy Story clip with Ken and Barbie?
I know the scene that you're talking about.
And she's like tearing up his clothes.
Yes, and she says something.
Yeah, so basically, I can show you later, but there's a recording of someone like watching the TV of the movie, and it sounds like, depending on what you listen to, he says "Oh Barbie," but it almost sounds like he says "Oh fuck."
Oh.
So depending on like what you're thinking of, you could hear it. It's like the Yanny and Laurel thing.
Right.
Yanny, Laurel. Like, depending on what you're thinking of,
yes.
you almost hear it. Because like Ghost Adventures, as much as I enjoy that show, 90% of it I'm like, okay, sure. And like, if you don't see what he's saying, like, you're like, you don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
They're just like trying to make it fit into what they think. I'm like, that sounds nothing like that.
Like what you're hearing. Yeah.
So, sometimes it's like, okay, I could see that, but I'm like, no.
Yeah, honestly too. And I just don't want to be told like what I'm supposed to be hearing too. Like, honestly, I know it's for television, so obviously they're going to tell you, but they should have been like, do you hear that?
Yeah. What do you
hear?
What do you hear?
And then afterwards, maybe they can tell you.
Very good.
Right.
Yay.
Yay. We all heard it. So, skeptics argue that EVP is a pseudoscience and can be explained by phenomena such as apophenia, finding patterns in random information, equipment, artifacts, or hoaxes.
Or hoaxes.
Sound Canadian. Or hoaxes. No, or hoaxes.
Oh my God. There's this, for anyone listening, there's this YouTube channel called Nuke Stop 5.
Mm-hmm.
And he shows like paranormal videos. Again, I'm fairly certain all of them are fake. But he's like, every single one, he's like, is this the paranormal or an elaborate hoax? So every time I see the word hoax, I'm like,
hoax.
Hoax. Every time he calls it, he says hoax. I'm just like, oh God, I hate that word. Because of this man.
Right. So under controversy and interpretations, EVP remains a controversial topic, with believers considering it as evidence of communication with the spirit world, while skeptics attribute it to natural explanations. Some paranormal investigators and enthusiasts use audio recorders and other equipment to capture EVP during ghost hunting or paranormal investigations. It's important to note that the scientific community generally does not consider EVP as credible evidence of paranormal activity. The mainstream scientific consensus is that further research and rigorous scientific investigation are needed to validate the claims associated with EVP.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Unless a ghost comes up and be like, I'm here. Like, how are you ever going to know for sure?
Right. By the way, I was saying these things over here. Like, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Like,
hello? I was talking to you. Do you believe in EVP, Stephanie?
Meh.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I get what people hear sometimes, but like I said before, too, I feel like it's very suggestive.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel like if you go out with the intention of looking for something, you might find something just because you're kind of already in that mindset, like hunting for ghosts. So I've got to hear a ghost thing.
You're going to pick up every little thing. Like, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie?
Yes.
It was a ghost.
It was a ghost.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
Yeah. I don't know. I've never heard one like in real life. So anything I've ever heard was like, again, on Ghost Adventures or something online. So I can never tell, unless I caught one myself that was like pretty clear. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm not skeptical. I wouldn't be surprised if they're real, but I also never experienced one, so I can't say for certain.
Right.
But let's put it this way, I would not be surprised if it happened.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, I get why people put stock in it. It just hasn't happened for myself.
Right. I need to see to believe.
Yes.
All right. Listen, I can't just believe everything I hear.
Right.
Everything I see. I just assume everything is a hoax until I am proven otherwise.
A hoax?
That's how I live my life. I'm like, I don't believe it until I have
it's straight in my face.
Exactly. And even then I'm like, I don't know about that. Maybe I just saw something.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. So that being said, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm also like, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Ivips. Who knows?
Ivips.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoy the show and listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, giving us a 5-star rating is super helpful, and we will always appreciate it.
Yes, you can find us on social media at 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we will see you next week.
Psh, 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 psh. I like chocolate. Is that what you heard?
I heard I like bananas and I'm going to give you all my money.
Correct.
That's what I heard. Thanks, Stephanie.
You're welcome.